As the former president and current nominee, he's always been in the spotlight, but his relationship with his youngest daughter, Tiffany, has often been complicated. Reports have surfaced that he was hesitant to be photographed with her, allegedly due to her appearance, a claim that underscores the tension between them. Their bond has been strained for years, and since his re-election, they've reportedly gone months without speaking or seeing each other. So why did Tiffany Trump stay silent for so long, and what prompted her to speak out now? Her recent comments have stunned everyone, her father, the Trump family, and the public. This isn't just a family disagreement, it's a revelation that could reshape perceptions of the Trump legacy. What's been happening behind closed doors? Why was Tiffany sidelined during pivotal moments, and who might have tried to keep her quiet? The truth is more unsettling than you'd expect, and here's the kicker. This isn't the first time Tiffany's voice has been suppressed, but now she's standing her ground. Stick around because what she's about to reveal could redefine the Trump dynasty forever. Tiffany Trump has finally broken her silence. For years, she was the understated Trump sibling, poised, reserved, and rarely in the headlines. She avoided controversy, stayed out of family drama, and kept her thoughts about her relatives private. But recently, Tiffany began speaking about her younger half-brother, Barron Trump, and her words sent shockwaves across the internet. No one anticipated that Tiffany, often overlooked within the Trump clan, would shed light on the family's most enigmatic member. Yet there she was, sharing insights that left people questioning what's really happening behind the Trump family's gilded facade. To grasp why Tiffany's remarks resonate so deeply, you need to understand her unique position in the Trump family. Unlike her half-siblings, Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric, who were groomed for the public eye and immersed in political and business ventures, Tiffany has always been somewhat of an outsider. Raised by her mother, Marla Maples, in California, her childhood was far from the Trump Tower boardrooms or campaign trails. Instead, it revolved around school, wellness-focused environments, and staying under the radar. Despite her low profile, she was still a Trump, observing her family's dominance in media, politics, and controversies from a distance. Tiffany rarely grants interviews, and when she does, her words are carefully chosen, her demeanor calm and controlled. But whispers have emerged about a surprising moment during a private Q&A at a Georgetown event, attended by law students and a few insiders. According to attendees, Tiffany made a cryptic remark about Barron that sparked intense buzz. While details of her exact words remain scarce, the comment was significant enough to ignite speculation about the Trump family's inner workings. What did she say, and why now? The answers could reveal more about the family's dynamics than ever before. Tiffany didn't name names, but her words were enough to set the rumor mill ablaze. Was she hinting at something about Barron Trump that the public has never glimpsed? Could there be hidden depths to the youngest Trump, beyond the carefully curated image of a reserved teenager? Whatever she said, it's got people buzzing, speculating, and poring over every possible interpretation. The burning question is this: was Tiffany deliberately trying to redefine her place in the Trump family, or did her comment unintentionally spark a firestorm? One thing is clear about the Trumps. Melania has tightly controlled Barron's public image, while my father, Donald Trump, driven and image-conscious, has kept his comments about his youngest son brief and surface level. For Tiffany, the most reserved of the Trump siblings, to offer any insight into Barron felt like a seismic shift. Her tone was soft, but the implications were explosive. Was she suggesting that Barron has his own views, that he's more than just a tall, quiet figure navigating a world of wealth and political chaos? The context of her remark only heightened the intrigue. Tiffany wasn't speaking on a media tour, a podcast, or a campaign stage. She was in a private, low-key setting, a Georgetown Q&A surrounded by fellow law students, where her words felt raw, unfiltered, and unplanned. She wasn't promoting a brand, defending a family member, or stirring controversy. She seemed to be speaking candidly about someone she knows deeply, perhaps even someone she feels a protective bond with. It's worth considering that Tiffany and Barron might share more than most realize. Both grew up on the fringes of the Trump political machine, raised by mothers, Marla Maples and Melania Trump, who intentionally shielded them from the relentless drama of Trump world. While their half-siblings thrived in the spotlight of boardrooms, campaigns, and controversies, Tiffany and Barron led quieter lives, focused on academics and personal development rather than fame or power. Their paths, though different, seemed to converge in a shared sense of purpose, far removed from the headlines and legal battles that define much of the Trump family. Whether intentional or not, Tiffany's words were like a spark in a room full of oxygen. The media pounced, amplifying her cryptic remark into a full-blown story. Supporters celebrated her for giving Barron a rare, humanizing moment, while skeptics raised questions about her motives. Inside Trump's inner circle, the reaction was reportedly one of uneasy silence. When Tiffany Trump, the least vocal of the family, starts to crack open the vault, it's impossible to ignore. Her comment has left everyone wondering, what else does she know and what might she say next? One thing is certain, her voice, once barely a whisper, is now echoing louder than ever. You can't help but wonder what more Tiffany might share about her enigmatic younger brother. Barron Trump's private world, long veiled in mystery, is starting to come into focus, and her words have only deepened the intrigue. If the Trump family were a fairy tale, Barron would be the silent prince, secluded behind gilded gates while his siblings, Donald Jr., Ivanka, Eric, and Tiffany, command attention with speeches, business deals, or social media storms. Barron, however, has always lived apart from the glare, his life cloaked in a quiet mystique. Born on March 20, 2006, as the only child of my father, Donald Trump, a driven and polarizing figure, and Melania Trump, Barron carries the family name with a hint of his mother's refined European grace. From the beginning, he's been treated differently, set on a path distinct from the rest of the Trump clan. Whispers from insiders, including my father, suggest Barron is a tech enthusiast with a deep curiosity for learning. Some even claim he's captivated by global affairs, delving into subjects like history and international trade, pursuits that feel remarkably mature for a young man of his age. Though these details remain unverified, they paint a picture of Barron as a thoughtful observer, quietly engaging with the world while steering clear of the drama that often engulfs the Trump name. What's undeniable is Barron's dedication to staying out of the spotlight. Unlike his siblings, who were raised in New York's media crucible and deeply tied to my father's public persona, Barron's upbringing has been markedly private. When Donald Trump became president, Melania made a striking choice. She delayed their move to the White House, allowing Barron to finish his school year in New York without interruption. Even after settling in Washington, D.C., Melania ensured Barron's life remained insulated. He attended St. Andrew's Episcopal School, known for its supportive atmosphere, and avoided public events entirely. While his siblings dove into campaigns and political appearances, Barron stayed on the sidelines, a decision that only heightened the aura of mystery around him. This guarded existence makes every rare glimpse of Barron a spectacle. Whether he's stepping off Air Force One or appearing briefly at a family gathering, the world takes notice. Fans and observers dissect every detail. His reported 6 feet 7 inches height, his polished wardrobe, his reserved demeanor. Some liken him to a character in a prestige TV drama, while others puzzle over why he's so carefully shielded compared to his siblings. It's human nature to be drawn to the unknown, and Barron's blend of enigma and allure keeps the conversation alive. When my father's presidency ended, Barron's low-key life continued. While his siblings chased high-profile ventures, he enrolled at Oxbridge Academy in Florida, where his privacy remained a priority. Teachers and classmates were reportedly asked to respect his space, though quiet murmurs occasionally surfaced about his sharp mind and composed nature. These whispers only fuel the public's fascination, and Tiffany's recent comment has poured gasoline on the fire. By speaking about Barron, she's cracked open a door to a world the Trumps have long kept locked, leaving everyone wondering what secrets might lie beyond. Barron Trump's story continues to unfold, and with every rare glimpse, the world leans in closer, eager to decipher the enigma. Now 19, he's carving his own path at New York University's Stern School of Business, a choice that sets him apart from my father, Donald Trump, a driven and polarizing figure who famously graduated from the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. Barron's decision to attend NYU reflects his quieter, more introspective nature, a stark contrast to the high-octane Trump brand. Yet, despite his low-key lifestyle, he briefly stole headlines in March 2025 when spotted at Trump Tower in New York City alongside his mother, Melania. The cause? A striking yellow-gold Rolex Daytona valued at nearly $50,000 gleaming on his wrist. Paired with a sleek ensemble, black jeans, a dark blue bomber jacket, and a black shirt, the understated luxury sparked a flurry of online chatter. For a young man who shuns attention, this moment of flair only deepened the public's fascination. Melania has always been Barron's fiercest guardian. In interviews, she's spoken of the unique challenges he faces as the son of a former president, describing him as intelligent, independent, and distinctly charismatic. Family insiders claim she's worked tirelessly to keep him out of the political spotlight, rebuffing efforts to draw him into campaigns and meticulously shaping his public image. This raises a tantalizing question. Is Barron's silence on public matters a mere coincidence or a deliberate strategy? In an era of constant oversharing, his restraint only amplifies his allure. Even my father, never one to shy from praise, keeps his comments about Barron vague, often noting only his height and intellect. As Barron steps into adulthood, speculation about his future intensifies. Will he remain in the shadows or will he choose to embrace the spotlight? Whatever he decides, the world is watching, waiting for the next chapter in the saga of this elusive prince. But the real intrigue lies in Tiffany Trump's recent comments, which hint at a bond with Barron that few saw coming. Could Tiffany and Barron, the Trump family's most understated members, be an unexpected power duo? Or is their connection more distant than it seems? Let's dive deeper into their sibling dynamic and unravel the story. Tiffany's candid remarks about Barron offer a rare window into a relationship that's far more complex than the public might assume. In a family where every move feels scripted, her words carry a sense of authenticity. Though Tiffany, 13 years older, and Barron grew up in vastly different worlds, rumors suggest a surprising closeness. Tiffany, raised by her mother Marla Maples on California's sunny coast, lived far from the Trump Tower hustle. Barron, by contrast, was raised in New York City and later Washington, D.C., under Melania's watchful eye. Their paths rarely crossed in childhood, yet whispers from online sources claim Tiffany recently spoke of Barron with genuine admiration. She reportedly described him as remarkably mature, exuding a quiet confidence that sets him apart, even calling him an old soul in a young body. While these comments lack official confirmation, they've ignited curiosity about Barron's true character and what Tiffany knows that the rest of us don't. Their upbringings tell a tale of contrasts. Marla Maples fostered openness and independence in Tiffany, encouraging her to forge her own identity. Melania, on the other hand, shielded Barron from the public eye, prioritizing his privacy above all. These divergent parenting styles, Marla's free-spirited approach versus Melania's guarded control, created a subtle divide in the Trump family, shaped by the unspoken rivalry between two women navigating the Trump legacy from opposite ends. Yet, despite their differences, Tiffany and Barron may share a unique understanding, both having lived on the fringes of the family's political and media storm. Tiffany's rumored remarks also hint at a playful sibling dynamic. She allegedly spoke of Barron's knack for debate, particularly on topics like technology, where he's said to be a walking encyclopedia. These exchanges, she admitted, leave her both impressed and occasionally exasperated. But can a deep bond truly exist between siblings whose lives have been so distinct? Tiffany's West Coast childhood kept her outside the Trump bubble, while Barron grew up at its epicenter, albeit shielded. Some speculate their connection is genuine, forged by shared experiences as the outsiders of the Trump clan. Others wonder if Tiffany's comments are part of a carefully curated narrative designed to humanize Barron without exposing him fully. Social media offers tantalizing clues. Over the years, rare posts have captured moments of Tiffany and Barron together, subtle smiles at family events, a quiet camaraderie that suggests more than a passing connection. As Tiffany's words continue to ripple, they raise a compelling question. Are she and Barron poised to redefine the Trump legacy, or is their bond simply a fleeting footnote? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. Tiffany's voice, once a whisper, is now a beacon, illuminating the hidden corners of the Trump dynasty and the mysterious prince at its heart. Tiffany Trump's rare glimpses into her bond with Barron offer a flicker of warmth in the often polished Trump family narrative. Through social media, she shared tender moments, birthday tributes, family photos, and subtle nods to their sibling connection. In one post, she called Barron the best little brother I could ever ask for, a sentiment that feels genuine in a family where public gestures often carry hidden agendas. But are these snapshots proof of a deep bond, or are they carefully curated pieces of a broader Trump family PR strategy? The question lingers, and Tiffany's recent comments only deepen the mystery. Her relationship with Barron stands in stark contrast to her ties with her older siblings, Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric, who've long been seen as the Trump family's tight-knit power trio. Raised in the heart of New York's elite circles, the older three were groomed for the spotlight, seamlessly blending business and politics under my father's, Donald Trump, a driven and polarizing figure, watchful eye. Tiffany, however, has often been cast as the outsider, her West Coast upbringing with Marla Maples setting her apart from the Trump Tower inner circle. Could her connection with Barron be her way of claiming a unique space in the family, free from the towering influence of her older siblings? Or is it simply a natural bond born from their shared experience as the younger Trumps, navigating the weight of a name that brings both privilege and scrutiny? Tiffany seems uniquely equipped to understand Barron on a profound level. She knows the burden of growing up in my father's shadow, the constant judgment that comes with the Trump name, and the quiet loneliness of being part of a high-profile family yet feeling invisible within it. In Barron, she may see an echo of her own journey, a younger sibling grappling with the same challenges she faced. Despite their 13-year age gap, this difference might be a strength. Tiffany can offer guidance without the rivalry that often marks siblings closer in age. She's not vying for attention or power. Instead, she provides something rare in the Trump family, a safe space for emotional connection. While much of their bond remains private, Tiffany's rumored willingness to speak about Barron, even in small doses, suggests their relationship is evolving. In a family where connections often feel staged, this one carries a quieter, more authentic weight. Some speculate Tiffany could play a pivotal role in guiding Barron as he steps into adulthood, facing choices that will define his future. Will he follow my father's path into business or politics, or forge a different route, perhaps in tech or global affairs, as rumors suggest? Having chosen a quieter path herself, pursuing law and maintaining a low profile, Tiffany might be the one sibling who can counsel him without an agenda. The timing of her comments adds fuel to the intrigue. Tiffany recently re-entered the public eye with her lavish wedding at Mar-a-Lago, a glittering event that united every branch of the Trump family under one opulent roof. Sources claim that during the celebration, Tiffany and Barron were seen sharing moments of laughter and ease, appearing closer than the public had ever witnessed. Could this reconnection have inspired her to speak out? Was she subtly trying to reshape how the world sees Barron, moving him beyond the mystery man label? Posts on X buzz with speculation, with some users hailing Tiffany as Barron's advocate and others questioning whether her openness is strategic. Insiders suggest Tiffany is entering a bolder phase of her life, more confident in her voice and role within the family. Her comments about Barron may be just the beginning, a sign she's ready to step out of the shadows and redefine her place in the Trump dynasty. And Barron, now at NYU's Stern School of Business, is no longer just the sheltered prince. With Tiffany's words shining a light on his character, his maturity, his quiet confidence, he's emerging as a figure of intrigue in his own right. Together, they might form an unexpected alliance, two siblings who've lived on the fringes of the Trump empire, now poised to challenge its narrative. As Tiffany continues to speak and as Barron carves his path, their bond could prove to be the Trump family's most surprising strength, or its most unpredictable wild card. Tiffany Trump is stepping into her own light, and the timing couldn't be more telling. Fresh from graduating Georgetown Law School and basking in the glow of her lavish Mar-a-Lago wedding in November 2022, she's carving out an identity distinct from the Trump brand's towering shadow. With a legal career on the horizon and a newfound confidence, Tiffany seems poised to redefine her role, not just for herself, but potentially for Barron. Not in the brash, spotlight-grabbing way that's synonymous with the Trumps, but in a quiet, supportive manner that reflects her own journey. Having witnessed the highs and lows of fame, Tiffany understands the inner workings of the family's PR machine. If anyone can guide Barron through the delicate balance of public expectations and personal freedom, it's her, a sister who's navigated the same tightrope. But as we shift focus from Tiffany's connection with Barron, a larger question looms. What is the true nature of her relationship with our father, Donald Trump, the polarizing force at the heart of the family? Is Tiffany the forgotten Trump, as some have claimed, or has her bond with him been quietly thriving beneath the surface all along? Tiffany's relationship with my father is a story of complexity, one that defies easy labels. For years, she's been seen as the peripheral Trump, her place in the family shrouded in speculation. While her siblings, Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric, were immersed in the glitz and grind of Manhattan's Trump empire, Tiffany's childhood unfolded far from that world. Raised by Marla Maples on the West Coast, her life centered on school, self-discovery, and staying out of the headlines. Yet public moments suggest a connection with my father that's more layered than it appears. On X, he shared bursts of pride, calling Tiffany smart and talented, especially when celebrating her graduation from Georgetown Law School. "Great student, excellent school. Just what I need, a lawyer in the family," he posted, a rare public nod to her achievements. His presence at her graduation, beaming as she crossed the stage, was a quiet but powerful show of support, untethered to the Trump business machine. Her wedding at Mar-a-Lago was another testament to her place in the family. The extravagant event drew together every corner of the Trump clan. Donald Jr., Ivanka, Eric, Barron, Melania, and my father, who walked Tiffany down the aisle. Ivanka's role in planning the wedding and hosting the bridal shower revealed a sibling warmth often obscured by the family's public drama. These moments, graduation, the wedding, paint a picture of Tiffany as a valued, if less visible, part of the Trump dynamic. But they also raise questions about the depth of her bond with my father. Unlike her siblings, Tiffany has appeared sparingly alongside him. Ivanka was a fixture during his presidency, advising in the White House, while Donald Jr. and Eric became vocal champions of his campaigns. Tiffany's involvement, by contrast, was selective. A speech at the 2020 Republican National Convention praising his leadership, a handful of White House appearances. Insiders whisper that these were more about projecting family unity than reflecting a deep personal connection. Her limited role in the political sphere compared to her siblings' immersion fuels speculation that her relationship with my father is more distant, shaped by geography and differing priorities. Yet there's a counterpoint to this narrative. Tiffany's quieter path, law school, a low-profile career, may reflect not estrangement but a deliberate choice to forge her own way, with my father's blessing. His public praise, though sporadic, carries a warmth that suggests pride in her independence. The Mar-a-Lago wedding, where he played a central role, hints at a bond that doesn't need constant spotlight to endure. Perhaps Tiffany's distance from the Trump brand is less about being forgotten and more about being trusted to chart her own course. As Tiffany steps into this bolder phase, law degree in hand, wedding behind her, she's not just redefining herself but potentially reshaping how we see the Trump family. Her willingness to speak about Barron, her subtle assertions of presence, suggest she's ready to claim her voice. And in doing so, she might reveal more about her bond with my father than we've ever understood. Is she the overlooked daughter finally stepping forward, or has she been a quiet force all along, her connection with him hiding in plain sight? The answers, like Tiffany herself, are emerging slowly, but they promise to shift the Trump dynasty's story in ways we can't yet predict. Even when Tiffany Trump steps into the public eye, her approach is a world apart from my father's. Donald Trump, a driven and polarizing force, thrives on bold declarations and unrelenting attention, commanding headlines with every move. Tiffany, by contrast, prefers a quieter path, keeping her focus on personal goals rather than basking in the spotlight. After graduating from Georgetown Law School, she's poured her energy into building a legal career, deliberately sidestepping the family's business empire. This choice bears the unmistakable imprint of her mother, Marla Maples, who raised Tiffany with a grounded, kind-hearted perspective. Marla has often spoken of wanting Tiffany to see the world through her own lens, unclouded by the Trump brand's larger-than-life aura. This philosophy may explain why Tiffany's relationship with my father feels more formal, even reserved compared to the close public alliances he shares with Ivanka or Donald Jr. Yet, Tiffany's recent comments about Barron have shifted the narrative, casting her in a new light within the Trump family. Whether by design or chance, her words have repositioned her as a voice of insight, one that's been rarely heard but carries unexpected weight. By speaking about her younger brother, she's challenged the perception of her as the forgotten Trump, suggesting a deeper connection and influence within the family than many realized. This raises a compelling question. Did my father encourage Tiffany to step forward, to weave herself more visibly into the family's story? Or is she forging her own path, balancing independence with a desire to strengthen her ties to the Trump legacy on her own terms? Tiffany's recent milestones, graduating law school, marrying at Mar-a-Lago in November 2022, and speaking publicly about Barron, mark a turning point in her personal and familial journey. These moments have showcased her growing confidence and hinted at a role that's still taking shape. Will she remain in the quieter corners of the Trump dynasty, content with a low-profile life? Or will she embrace a more public presence, leveraging her voice to reshape how the world sees her and her family? For now, her bond with my father remains a tapestry of complexity. Moments of warmth, like his proud ex-posts about her law school success, interwoven with questions about their emotional closeness. Each interaction sparks curiosity, inviting us to wonder what lies beneath the surface. Tiffany's story, though, is just one thread in the intricate fabric of the Trump family. While her relationship with my father may seem understated, the Trumps as a whole are masters of the public stage. Ivanka navigates criticism with polished grace, Donald Jr. fuels his platform with fiery ex-posts, and Melania fiercely guards Barron's privacy, ensuring his world remains untouched by the chaos. Together, they're not just individuals, but a tightly knit unit, rallying in the face of scrutiny. Whether it's a wedding at Mar-a-Lago or a political campaign, the Trumps know how to command attention, each playing their part in a carefully choreographed dance. Tiffany's emergence as a voice for Barron and perhaps for herself adds a new layer to this dynamic, a reminder that even the quietest members can shift the narrative. As Tiffany continues to define her place, her actions ripple beyond her own story. Her willingness to speak, however subtly, about Barron suggests a bond that could influence his path as he navigates adulthood at New York University's Stern School of Business. Her legal career, her marriage, her newfound assertiveness all signal a woman ready to claim her space, not just as a Trump, but as Tiffany. And in a family where every move is watched, her quiet strength might just be the most unexpected force of all. The Trump dynasty, with its blend of spectacle and secrecy, remains a saga of endless intrigue, and Tiffany's next steps, alongside Barron's, promise to keep the world guessing. As Tiffany continues to define her place, her actions ripple beyond her own story. Her willingness to speak, however subtly, about Barron suggests a bond that could influence his path as he navigates adulthood at New York University's Stern School of Business. Her legal career, her marriage, her newfound assertiveness all signal a woman ready to claim her space, not just as a Trump, but as Tiffany. And in a family where every move is watched, her quiet strength might just be the most unexpected force of all. The Trump dynasty, with its blend of spectacle and secrecy, remains a saga of endless intrigue, and Tiffany's next steps, alongside Barron's, promise to keep the world guessing. When the spotlight turns harsh, the Trump family doesn't just weather the storm, they master it. From quiet bonds to fierce public defenses, they've honed the art of staying in the conversation, no matter the criticism. Despite their differences, the Trumps remain a united front, each member playing a distinct role in navigating the relentless scrutiny that comes with their name. As Tiffany's recent comments about Barron ripple through the public, they underscore a truth about this family. Their ability to rally together, protect their own, and keep the world talking is unmatched. Let's explore how they do it, from polished responses to bold counterattacks, and why their unity remains their greatest strength. The Trumps are arguably the most discussed family on the planet. Every word, action, or ex-post sparks debate, drawing both admiration and ire. Their fame invites a torrent of attention, much of it critical. Yet they've turned this into a strength, wielding their public personas with precision. Take Ivanka Trump, the eldest daughter whose calm, professional demeanor has made her a global representative for my father. Donald Trump, a driven and polarizing figure. From high-stakes international summits to White House meetings, Ivanka has carried the family name with poise. But she's not immune to backlash. Her clothing brand faced scrutiny over business practices, and her role in my father's administration drew accusations of nepotism. Critics questioned her qualifications, especially when she briefly stood in for him at the 2017 G20 summit. Yet Ivanka remained unflappable, addressing critiques with measured statements, emphasizing her focus on empowering women globally and redirecting attention to her work. Her ability to stay composed under fire is a hallmark of the Trump playbook. Then there's Donald Jr. and Eric, who bring their own fire to the family's defense. Donald Jr. is the outspoken warrior, unafraid to clash with critics on X, where his bold, unfiltered posts rally supporters and counterattacks on my father. His fiery presence ensures the family's voice is never drowned out. Eric, by contrast, is more reserved but no less loyal, stepping into the fray when needed with steady, supportive statements. Together, they form a protective shield, ensuring the Trump name remains formidable, no matter the challenge. Even Barron, the youngest, hasn't escaped public attention, though Melania has worked tirelessly to keep him out of it. In 2019, during a congressional hearing, a professor made a flippant remark about Barron's name, joking that my father could name his son Barron but not make him nobility. Melania's response was swift and fierce. Taking to X, she condemned the comment, asserting that children should be off-limits in political battles. Her protective instinct, a constant in Barron's life, underscores the family's commitment to shielding their own even as they navigate the public stage. Tiffany's recent remarks about Barron add a new dimension to this dynamic. Though the details of what she said remain elusive, her willingness to speak about her younger brother has sparked curiosity about the family's inner workings. Her comments, made in the intimate setting of a Georgetown Q&A, suggest a bond rooted in shared experiences as the outsiders of the Trump clan. They also highlight her emerging role as a voice within the family, one that's quieter but no less impactful. By humanizing Barron, Tiffany may be subtly reinforcing the family's narrative of unity, showing that even its most private members are part of the collective strength. The Trumps' ability to handle the spotlight, whether through Ivanka's polished grace, Donald Jr.'s combative energy, Eric's quiet loyalty, Melania's fierce protection, or Tiffany's understated insight, is a masterclass in resilience. They don't just respond to criticism, they shape the narrative, turning scrutiny into opportunity. Whether it's a lavish Mar-a-Lago wedding uniting the family or a fiery ex-post rallying their base, they ensure the conversation never stops. Love them or not, the Trumps are a tightly knit unit, quick to defend each other and adept at keeping the world captivated. As Tiffany steps into her own, law degree in hand, wedding behind her, and a newfound confidence, she's adding a fresh layer to this saga. Her bond with Barron, her complex relationship with my father, and her quiet assertion of influence suggest she's more than the forgotten Trump. She's a bridge between the family's public spectacle and its private truths. And as Barron navigates adulthood at NYU with the world watching his every move, the Trump family's unity will likely remain their greatest asset. From quiet bonds to public defenses, they've proven time and again that no matter the storm, they'll emerge stronger, together, and always in the spotlight. This brings us to the question burning in everyone's minds. Will Barron Trump step into the public eye, or will he continue to forge his path in the shadows? As the most private member of the Trump family, Barron has long been an enigma, but Tiffany's recent comments have cracked open a window into his world, sparking curiosity about what lies ahead. Her words, shared in the intimate setting of a Georgetown Q&A, painted a vivid picture of a young man who's far more than the quiet figure seen at family events. Now, as Barron navigates adulthood, the world is watching, wondering what's next for the Trump family's elusive prince, and whether Tiffany's revelations are a glimpse of things to come or a fleeting moment of candor. Tiffany described Barron as sharp, focused, and deeply curious, with a passion for technology that might lead him into fields like robotics, coding, or innovative projects. These interests, if true, suggest a future far removed from the political arena that defines my father, Donald Trump, a driven and polarizing force, and his older siblings. She portrayed Barron as someone who dives into books and research, not just skimming trends, but immersing himself in global events, history, and even political theory. A former White House aide once claimed Barron left a room of adults stunned with a casual remark about international trade, a story that hints at a mind already grappling with complex ideas. When Tiffany called him really sharp, it wasn't just a sister's praise, it carried weight in a family where every word is scrutinized. Coming from Tiffany, the least political Trump, it felt like a genuine nod to Barron's untapped potential. But did Tiffany's candor cross a line? My father has always been fiercely protective of Barron, often calling him his legacy in waiting, a phrase that underscores the careful control over his image. Melania, too, has shielded him from the spotlight, ensuring his life at NYU's Stern School of Business and beyond remains private. Tiffany's comments, though subtle, may have disrupted this carefully crafted narrative, thrusting Barron into a curiosity-driven spotlight he's long avoided. For a 19-year-old who spent his life out of the public gaze, this sudden attention, sparked by a sister's words, might feel jarring. Does Barron welcome the intrigue, or does it clash with his instinct for privacy? The public's hunger to know more about him is undeniable, but for someone as reserved as Barron, is this scrutiny a blessing or a burden? The timing adds another layer of complexity. Barron is at a pivotal moment, transitioning into adulthood, making choices about his future, and facing pressures unique to the Trump name. Tiffany's remarks, carefully measured yet evocative, raise questions about her intent. Was she offering a protective glimpse into Barron's world, humanizing him while preserving his autonomy? Or was she subtly opening the door for him to step into the public sphere when he's ready? In a family where every move feels calculated, her decision to speak out could serve dual purposes, reshaping how the world sees Barron and redefining her own image as a thoughtful, influential sibling. Her emergence, post-law school, post-wedding at Mar-a-Lago, signals a woman claiming her voice, and her comments about Barron may be a strategic step in that journey. The Trump family's mastery of the spotlight ensures that Tiffany's words won't fade quietly. From Ivanka's poised responses to criticism, to Donald Jr.'s fiery X posts, to Melania's staunch defense of Barron, they've proven their ability to navigate scrutiny and rally as a unit. Tiffany's role, once peripheral, is now central to the conversation, her bond with Barron casting a new light on the family's dynamics. As the Trumps continue to dominate public discourse, Barron's next steps will be pivotal. Will he embrace a public role, leveraging his reported intellect and tech-savvy nature to carve a unique niche? Or will he remain the quiet observer, content to build his legacy away from the cameras? Tiffany's remarks suggest he's preparing for something significant, but the shape of that future remains a mystery. What do you make of Tiffany's decision to speak out? Is it a calculated move to reframe Barron's image, or is she also reshaping her own place in the Trump saga? One thing is certain, the Trump family thrives on questions, and their story, woven from private bonds and public defenses, keeps the world captivated. As Barron charts his path and Tiffany finds her voice, the dynasty's next chapter promises to be as compelling as ever.